Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the eSports Report presented by the Xbox One, of course, the official console of Major League Gaming. Continuing where we left off, talking about now Elevate pressing with TJ versus Optic Nation.
Yeah, and this match became interesting during the day because TJ gets traded over to Elevate from Rise. Apathy goes over to Rise, and now, I mean, you have the kind of a semblance of the old Elevate roster that was before, Ben. You just have Saints in there instead of Temp.
Yes. Pretty good roster. Kind of impressed. We'll talk a little bit about TJ later on. Game 1, Compound Hardpoint. Elevate come out looking very, very strong in that map number 1. A 250 to 127 point victory.
I mean, they dominated in every facet of the game, man. I mean, they finished plus 33 in the slaying department. Elevate outscores ON 53 to 1 on the third hill.
How does that happen, Matt?
It happens because a guy like Slack goes 31 and 24, 10 caps, 9 defense.
Wow. Just
a monster game out of him. Classic as well put up some pretty good numbers. I feel like Classic's been playing pretty well as of late. 34 and 23, 4 caps.
Yeah, I was speaking to both Classic and Slack to UMG. Big smiles on the face, fantastic friends, great teamwork between the two. It's always a privilege to speak to them. And they were saying they feel pretty comfortable and confident going into the rest of the season. They were pretty upset with certain aspects of their game from UMG, but it's nice to see them kind of going in and trying to address them very, very early on. First game back after you've just been to a LAN event. Impressive victory and a huge, huge win. 250 to 127, like we said. I mean, they just dominated Optic Nation.
Right, ON, they finished this game with only 6 defense total. Elevate finishes with 13. ON just losing a lot of those 50-50 gunfights on the hill. That's really the difference in this one.
Losing a little bit of composure there, map number 1. But going over to game number 2, Riot Search and Destroy. Elevate pick up the win there, 6-4. Despite only getting 3 first bloods in the whole game.
But I feel like this is where they gain some by making this trade. TJ is a very good S&D player. He goes 8-5 in this one, but one of the better young S&D players in Call of Duty. Kind of how he got into the competitive scene with Search and Destroy. So the team on offense won 7 out of the 10 rounds total on Riot. You'd expect that though. Riot,
attacking
pretty heavy offensive side of map, but Elevate able to win that one 6-4.
The very surprising thing is Ricky and Moch both dropped 10 kills. The loss.
Yeah, it's
just not
upsetting if you're those two guys.
Not able to pick up that win, but Elevate doing a much better job of trading the kills efficiently. TJ finishes 8-5, like Matt mentioned. So Elevate 2-0 up in the series. Going to game 3, it's a comeback uplink. You're hoping it's going to be close. You want to see a little bit of bounce back from Optic Nation. It just doesn't happen.
Nope.
Elevate cruised through this game, 16-7 victory.
I mean, Slack starts off, the first half 17-11. They end the half with a 9-5 lead. Saints and TJ both positive as well. ON wasn't really in that one at all.
Yeah, it made it pretty simple. But we said we'd talk about TJ in a little bit further depth. I'm going to it now. Let's take a look at his stats from his season debut with Elevate, Compound Hardpoint. TJ puts up 32 kills, a 1.39 KD. S&D, 8-5 performance. Leads Elevate in kills during the search. Comeback uplink. TJ leads the lobby with an outstanding uplink game of 36 kills, a 1.29 and 5 uplinks.
We saw him play great for Rise as well when he was on Rise. So you look at this and say, what is the difference between TJ in Season 2 and Season 3? We have a Season 2 stats. We can look at them. These are from Season 2, just to remind you guys. 28th in the league for Season 2.
Okay.
0.97 overall KD. 0.96 S&D KD. A Slayer rating of 27.18. Uplink, 0.97. You look at it, the CTF KD, really where he struggled, 0.87. That game mode is out, Ben. Now we go over to Season 3. We can take a look at where he is there. He's 8th in the league in Season 3. I believe that is in the Slayer department. So huge jump in that.
No, that's his KD.
And
that's his overall KD.
What? No, I mean 8th in the league in Season 3. I believe that's in the Slayer rating.
No, that's his overall KD.
Oh, it's 8th in the lead. Yeah, okay. So an overall KD of a 1.15, an S&D KD of a 1.13, a hardpoint KD of a 1.19. The numbers are just silly.
Yeah, obviously he's improved throughout all of the respawn.
No CTF has helped him, massively. No CTF has helped him a lot.
And you can see that, his Slayer rating going up, basically 6 kills per game. Like that's absurd. That's so good.
Yeah, 4th in the league in overall slaying. TJ just doing a great job here in Season 3.
Excited to see what else he can do throughout the rest of the season. Moving on though, no signs of stopping for Faze. That momentum just growing. It's like a steam train right now. They went up against Team Caliber yesterday. We'll talk about game number 1. It was a solo hardpoint. I mean, Matt,
you expected it though, right? You expected Faze to kind of dominate the hard point here to come off, you know, obviously their UMG Dallas performance. 3 players on Faze dropped 40+ kills. Outslayed TK by 46, 42 by Clay, and Enable 40 by Zuma, a 1.38 combined team KD. That is just silly.
I mean, Faze went 10-0 in hardpoint at UMG Dallas. TK is 107 in hardpoint going into that match. That was always going to end that way.
You knew it was going to end that way.
If you were very TK, hard to say, oh, no, Matt, let me explain why TK is going to win map number 1. There really
like
is.
TK, you wanted to split one of the first 2 maps, and when I say split, you absolutely needed to win game 2. That was like a must-win game coming into the series. And you know, it's a recovery S&D. Faze ends up winning that one 6-3. You know, coming off an 8-0 record in S&D at UMG Dallas. Zuma 12-5 with 4 first bloods.
He's
Zuma,
so good.
And you know, I think over the last like 3 events, like live events, you know, Zuma's been their best player, arguably. I mean, I think
his search has just been so good, and so good.
You know, if you were to say the 3 players that have given off the gaming the most trouble all year long, like Zuma always plays well against OG. Same with Attach and Clay.
Yeah.
So like those 3 on the same team, it's a powerful combo now.
It really is, and you saw it work at UMG. But
yeah,
the thing that's impressed me most with Zuma was at the very start of the year. You know, everyone talks about Zuma flanks. He would kind of do the same thing every kind of round of search and destroy. You kind of knew what to expect with Zuma. Now though, switching things up so often, it kind of keeps you on your toes. You don't really know, like if he's on Detroit, is he going to rush hospital? Is he going to rush school?
Well, you knew he was going to be a great S&D player.
Right.
I mean, he's always been a good S&D player, but he's really
right
now he's bringing it in respawn. So now he's a complete player, very talented.
And then we go over to game number 3. Biolab uplink. TK actually win this one 12-6. This is Faze's weakest game mode of them all. They had a 6-2 record at Dallas, but I think it is fair to say it is genuinely their weakest game mode.
Right.
TK coming out with a very big win there, but if they had split that game 1 or 2, like game 2,
right, then I think you go to game 5.
It's a completely different series.
You go to game 5.
It really is.
But game 4 to Detroit Hardpoint. Faze wins this one. We have some video highlights of this. 250-106, Ben. Just a dominant performance by Faze here. Probably the most dominant so far we've seen from them in Season 3.
Yeah, this, you know, you look at game 1, you think that's dominant. 236-160. Faze make this one look even easier. 250-106, like you said. And it was basically just all Faze from the very beginning.
There was a period of time during this map, this is obviously me and Jack casted this, where leaving Green Hill to go towards Garage, I believe in the 2nd rotation, everybody from Faze was on streaks. Like kill streaks. I mean, you had, I think the lowest player was on like a 3. You had Enable at an 11 at one point.
An 11 streak?
And it was just, they just dominated the map in kills. I mean, you just didn't know when was the last time you saw TK pick up some kills. Really tough for them to win this one, TK.
Dude, that's crazy.
No, didn't really have much going in the slaying department. They actually keep this one pretty close for the first half, and then once it goes back to that first hard point, you see Faze start to really heat up and pull away.
What was the difference, though, between the first half and the second half? What was it?
Enable just started to play silly. I mean, you see Enable right now 13 and 15. You'll see his stats at the end of the game. Really just brings it all the way back. And this is where you start to see Faze really heat up here going into the second half.
Oh, I've seen where he picked up that kill. That would have really summed up the whole game. But as you said, Faze massively stepping things up. And this is where you really see Enable pick up a little couple of kills in quick succession. Currently on a 3 streak and just trying to pre-fire and pick up as many kills as he possibly can. And all of a sudden, you fast forward, and it's 209-100. Like, that is a big change.
Yeah, and now you saw Enable struggling a little bit. Now you see the stats much better. Everybody from Faze, like we said, everybody from Faze, finishes above 30 kills. The game only lasts 8 minutes. Just an impressive stats.
You had 2 players on pace for 40 bombs, other 2 players on pace for 36 kills as the game had continued. It's just crazy. It really is. But TK in Hardpoint definitely need to go back to the drawing board on that one. I know they're all going to be moving into the TK house relatively soon. Hopefully that helps, not necessarily just in connection-wise, but being able to sit down, look at VOD, try and figure out what's going wrong. Having everyone in the same place definitely does.
I think once they're on the house, they'll be much better in the respawn game modes. I think TK definitely can turn things around.
They've looked good in Search and Destroy. I would say that's probably one of the stronger game modes this season, but they definitely, as you mentioned, need to send things around in the Hardpoint and other respawn categories. But speaking of how strong Faze are at slaying, we went in depth to try and figure out exactly what it is which makes them so good. The average kill difference in a Hardpoint game is almost 34 kills, man.
Yeah.
And in Uplink, it's almost 17.
And it's kind of amazing that Uplink, I mean, they go, what, 6-2 at UMG Dallas, and it's their game mode that's shaky, and they outslay by that much. That's just, I feel like, something that they'll get better with their teamwork and positioning with time. They're going to win most of those gun engagements. Once they figure that out, they're going to be a dominant team in Uplink as well.
So far in Season 3, they have outslayed the opposition teams in hardpoint and uplink 100% of the time.
Yeah.
That is absolutely scary, scary stuff. That's concerning.
Oh.
If I'm another team in Season 3 and I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay.
Without doubt. I mean, we still have 2 undefeated teams in Season 3. I mean, you have Denial
Faze
and
isn't
Optic
one of them.
Gaming.
That's the
Faze
weirdest
isn't
thing.
one of them, but this team, arguably, I mean, the strongest team in COD right now.
Yeah, they are definitely looking that way. For now, though, we're going to head to a quick commercial break. When we return, we're going to take a look at a preview of all of tonight's action.